Okay, so I'm going to start the recording now.
Hi, everyone. It's Julie from Ocean Rehab and Fitness. Thanks for joining me today. For today's session, all you need for equipment is a set of hand weights. We'll probably only use one hand weight for most of our exercises, but if you have two, have them handy. We'll be doing fairly high repetitions, so light set will be just fine. You can use water bottles or soup cans or anything else for resistance if you don't have a set of hand weights with you. And of course, you can just use range of motion if that is best for you today. So if you have maybe a sore shoulder and I'm doing something with weights that just doesn't feel right today, feel free to set down the weight and just use range of motion. So we won't be using those quite yet, but just have those handy. I do also have a pillow, as I'll be doing a little bit of optional hinged work. So if you would like extra support and you are able to hinge forward to do some of our exercises, you may want to have a pillow handy. And of course, a water bottle, taking a drink anytime you need to, especially if you're somewhere that it is quite warm, making sure you check in for temperature regulation, see how you're doing during class, and have some water whenever you need it. With that, we'll get started. So you can just take a comfortable seat, and as we usually do, you can take your eyes to closed if you're comfortable with that for a moment. And we'll just focus on our breathing. Nice even breaths in and out. Feeling a little bit like a wave. So breath in, top of the wave, breath out, coming down off of that wave. Just really appreciating that both your inhale and exhale can be equal. And then maybe tuning into your posture, thinking about how every breath in draws your head a little close to the ceiling and every breath out maintains that length, but gives a nice even exhale. So even breaths in and out here. While you're here, eyes still closed, do a little bit of a body scan, see how you feel today, check in on energy levels, check in to see if maybe you need to make some modifications based on a sore joint today or anything else that's going on with your body that you know needs a little bit of extra attention. And from there, we'll open our eyes and get started. So we'll start with a little bit of movement through our head and neck, ear to one shoulder, back to center, ear to the other. With any of these exercises, if you feel like you'd like to stop and spend a little extra time stretching in any one position, go ahead and do that, or just moving through range of motion here. We'll do one more each side. Good, and then you'll look down to your lap, back to center, and up towards the ceiling. We'll do two more there. And one. Good, coming back to center and adding a shoulder check now. So for now, our shoulders are facing forward. Shoulder check just using the rotation of our head at the neck. Last one each way here. Coming back to center, depending on your level of core control, if you're able to slide forward on your chair just slightly now, we're going to be doing a little bit of rotational work. If you need the support of your chair, by all means, stay with your back well supported here. Taking both hands to one upper thigh, a little bit of gentle pressure as we rotate through the spine and come back to center. We'll stay on this side. And then we'll add back in that shoulder check, looking the same way as you are rotating. Good, we'll do 2 more here. And 1. Back to center, setting up for the other side, both hands on your upper thigh, adding a little bit of gentle pressure and assisting with that rotation. Just listening to your body and moving in nice comfortable range, adding in that shoulder check. Good, we'll do 2 more here. And 1. Excellent. Coming back to center. If you have the core control, core stability to be able to forward hinge away from your chair back, we will do a few of those with front support. If you need to be at your chair back, you will be gently pushing into your chair back, contracting through your core. Make sure that your wheels are locked, and for any of the exercises where we're creating a little bit of instability, either with overhead movements or larger movements, if you don't have anti-tip on your chair, moving against a surface that will help to support here. Good, 2 more. And 1. Excellent. All right, let's get those arms moving a little bit more. Let's do a few shoulder shrugs to start with our focus on back and up and then down. If you're at your chair back right now, maybe you feel your shoulder blades tracking. We'll tune into the movement of those shoulder blades. So they come up as our shoulders come up, and then tracking down our back, snugging into place. So the base of our shoulder blades, we want those muscles to connect and hold those shoulder blades in place as we do our exercises today. Our resistance exercises are focused on chest and back today. So we do want those shoulder blades to be set in position to give us power for our weighted exercises. Last 2. And 1. Good. All right, hands are down to the side, wide if you need to clear the arms of your chair. Bicep curl, tricep press. And then a longer reach, longer press back, straight arms as opposed to bent elbows as we reach towards the ceiling and then push back. Let's change our hand positioning. So we're going to kind of sweep. Palms facing back as you press back, palms facing forward as you sweep forward. If you would like to add a little bit of hinge as you press back and then up tall as you come forward, go right ahead. Good, 2 more. And 1. Excellent. Come on back to center. We're going to do the same thing more or less to the sides. So for now, we'll go up to shoulder height, just a nice easy lift and lower. And then we're going to change our hand positioning here as well. So as long as your shoulders are comfortable with this move, we're going to go palms facing up as you come up, palms facing down as you return. Palms face up, palms face down. The rotation is coming through the shoulder joint. So we are changing the way our arms are facing directionally. Good, 2 more. And last one here. All right, shoulders are set. Let's go a few crossbody punches side to side, just getting a little bit of chest warm up. We'll have weights in hand doing this in a little bit. Adding in a bit of rotation, so following through on that move, keeping our hips nice and even. So our rotation is through the spine, hips stay stable on our chair, and fairly evenly weighted from side to side as we move. Let's do 2 more. And 1. All right, let's get our lat muscles, our side wing muscles going a little bit with this next one. Reaching up to the ceiling and then pulling down. Elbows come to your sides. Good, 2 more here. And 1. Excellent. And then our last one for warm up is we'll do both arms at the same time again, grabbing onto an imaginary object out front, squeezing your shoulder blades together as you pull in towards your backbone. So shoulder blades squeeze to backbone. Good. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Okay, so we have I have an interval session planned for you today for our heart rate raising activity. We'll be doing these in 45-second intervals. So we'll go through the setup of each exercise first, and then we'll get going with my timer and the intervals. Grab a drink of water anytime you need it. And certainly working at your own pace today. So our first interval will be maybe at a little bit slower pace as we just start to build up our heart rate. And then from there, if you want to hold at a steadier state and work a little bit harder, you're welcome to do that, or bring it down a notch to whatever you feel comfortable with today, taking a break anytime you need it. Okay, so our 4 intervals today. Our first one is going to be a front crawl. So easy scoops to start with lots of option for more workload coming up. So I won't set my timer quite yet. We're just running through what each of these exercises is going to look like. Shoulders stay away from your ears. The rotation is whatever your shoulder joints are comfortable with today. And maybe as you warm up, those circles will get a little bit larger. So let's do 2 more for now. And 1. So that will be the first of our interval. Our second is going to be our seated jacks. This one, as usual, single arm jacks, if that feels best for you, or both arms moving up at the same time for extra workload. We'll keep it at single arm for now as we just run through a practice run here. Good. We'll do 2 more here. And 1. All right. For our third exercise in our interval sequence, it's going to be pull down. So reaching up, pulling down, like you're grabbing onto something and yanking it down towards hip level. So this one is definitely back muscles, lat muscles working. Good, and this can certainly be 1 arm at a time as well. So if you would like to decrease the workload a little bit, single arm is just fine. Last one each way. Good, and then our last one is our skier arms. Same thing applies. It can be 1 arm at a time, reaching forward, option of a hinge, or both arms reaching forward, planting our poles, pushing back. Good, we'll take a fairly long reach for this one. So elbows just very slightly bent. We'll do 2 more. And 1. All right, so those are the 4 exercises that we're going to do for our interval sequence. I'm going to set my timer now. We're going to do 45 seconds of each of those, and then we'll take a rest after we've done the 4 and reset to do it all over again. So here we go. Once I get rid of this advertisement on my timer. There we go. All right, 45 seconds. Here we go. we are starting with our front crawl. So again, just easing into our cardio section, pacing yourself accordingly to how you feel today. And you're welcome to change the tempo anytime based on how you're feeling. If you would like to add a little bit extra to this one, maybe you're hinging and rotating just a bit. So adding more core work. Good, we've got 5 seconds left here. All right, moving into our next one, seated jacks. I'm going to do single arm jacks for this set. Option of a little bit of rotation here as well. Sorry, not rotation, flex. A little bit of flexion. Great, keep going. Five more seconds here. Ready to switch it up to our pull downs. All right, so reaching for the ceiling, grabbing, pulling down actively. So probably making a fist as you reach up and then pulling down, activating all those muscles in mid-back. Shoulders are staying away from your ears. Take this down to a single arm move if this feels like a little too much right now. And we'll stay upright for this one. Our next one, our skier arms are going to be a hinged exercise. We're reaching more forward, but for now, up to the ceiling, pulling down. 10 seconds left. Good, here we go. Skier arms, single arm or double arm, forward reach now. Pulling back. Option of that hinge. And of course, using one arm at a time if that feels like a better tempo and workload for you at the moment. We're almost done this one, and then we'll take a little reset before we start our next interval. Good. All right. Shake it out. Take a drink of water if you need to. Maybe cross your arms, give yourself a bit of a hug. Drop your chin towards your chest and roll your head side to side. And maybe you take your gaze up and drop your ear towards one shoulder, back to center, and then towards the other, just releasing any tension in our neck. We got 10 seconds left, and then we are starting our next interval set with our front crawl. Here we go. Front crawl move. Right, so if you're feeling like that first set got you warmed up a bit and you want to either move faster or increase the size of your movements for a little bit more difficulty, go right ahead. Keep it a bit slower and more controlled if that's best for you today. Yeah, we got about 10 more seconds on this interval, and then we'll be moving into our seated jacks. Seated jacks, here we go. I'm going to use both arms at once for this one today, or this time around. Good. Keep going. We got 10 more seconds. All right, getting ready for those upward reaches. Reach up, squeeze, pull down. So that active grip, as if you're grabbing onto something up above your head and pulling it down towards your lap. This can be single arm if you'd rather. Keep going. Excellent. Finish that one. One more before we take another break. Here we go. Skier arms. Single or double arms here. Option of that forward hinge. And a big press back. So we're activating again through our mid back, also through our rear shoulder muscles. Almost on this one. 5 more seconds to go. 2 and 1. Excellent. Shake it out. Grab a drink of water. Good. Maybe for this one, we'll actively reach your hands down towards the ground and drop an ear to one shoulder. Back to center and to the other. And then maybe you'll tuck your hands back at your hips and drop your chin towards your chest, shaking your head slowly side to side. We are getting ready for our next interval. So come on back to center and let's get going. Here is our front crawl. Here we go. Good, so maybe you're adding a little bit of rotational work. You might need to slow it down to add that piece. We're adding extra core muscles if we're rotating. So both our rectal abdominals and then our obliques as well, working in this position. 10 seconds left here. Good, our seated jacks are next, single arm or double arm, whatever feels best for you. We're going to complete one more set after this. So we have one more to go once we've completed this go round. Ten more seconds here. All right, moving on to our reach towards the ceiling, pull down. Single arm or double. Lots of power through mid back as you squeeze and pull down. Ten more seconds here. Right, moving on in a moment to the skier arms. Here we go, shoulders set. Forward reach, back press, option of a hinge. After this, it's time for another break. Right, I got 5 more seconds. Good. All right. Shake it out. So we have 1 more set left. I'm going to let you decide what feels best for you today. So if you would like to make this another cardio set, you know what to do. Same as the other 3 that we've just done. Go right ahead and do that. If you would like to make this a little more about core, so a little more conscious, slower movements, that's another option as well. So I'll be cueing more for that side. But if you know that you would like to keep this as a cardio set, then go ahead and do that, same as we've done for the last few. So here we go. We have our front crawl. So if you would like to make this a little bit slower and more of a thoughtful movement, really thinking about those core muscles and how they are contracting to help bring you forward with rotation. And this can be upright as well, small rotation. Good, again, moving faster if you are after cardio, or slowing it down as I am now. All right, same thing, seated jacks, you go for it. If you want the cardio, if you would like to think of this more as a core exercise now, side flex, back to center, side flex and to center. Hand can be on the chair or on the arm of your chair for support if you need it there to guide that side flex. Good, almost done this one. Here we go. All right, for our pull downs, we're gonna think about height. So you're gonna think about reaching high, but stretching high through your core. So activating through your core to support that high lift. Shoulders themselves are staying set in position away from your ears though. So our arms are reaching up, powerful shoulders here. So nice long spine, especially on that upward reach, maintaining that length as you pull down. Good. And then for our skier arms, our last one here, again, go for speed if you want, or make this a core exercise. Hinge, return to your upright seat. Or if the hinge is not available to you today, pressing into your chair back and returning as those arms pull. Good, 3, 2, and 1. We are finished our intervals for today. Good work. I'm going to stop my timer, grab a drink of water, and grab 1 weight. If you use something like active hands to help hold the weight, if grip strength is an issue for you, we're going to stay on one side for 2 different exercises, so we won't be switching sides too often. You should be able to use, lock that weight into place if you need to. And we will be doing an option of some hinged work for our second exercise. So if you do like to have a little bit of front support with a pillow on your lap, you might want to have that in place as well. Okay, so I said we'd be doing chest and back exercises for our resistance exercises today. Here we go. We're going to be doing 10 of each. Our first one setup is shoulder set in position. Arm is wide away from my body. So in a bit of a holding position, soft elbow here. Chest muscle is going to squeeze to pull that weight across body and then return it to my side. So let's go for 10 here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. So that was a chest exercise. We're going to work on the opposing muscle group, mid-back, mainly rhomboids for our next exercise. So that is our row with an option of a hinge. I'll show you both ways, and you can decide which is best for you today. Our hinge row is going to have our shoulders facing forward. The weight is starting at about mid-calf or mid-shin level. And we're going to row back with a bit of a wide row. So if you have the arm of your chair wide enough to clear the arm of your chair, upright if you need to, weight is hovering above your knee, exact same move here. So whichever one you choose, let's go for 10. Shoulder blade squeezes in each time. Shoulder away from your ears. Good, we got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Reset that one. We're going to stay on this same side actually and do 6 more of those exercises with a little bit of optional rotation. So we're going to slow the exercise down. That's why we're only doing 6 of them. If you know that rotation with a weight in hand is maybe not the best for you today, please stay with the exercise that we were just doing. So shoulders facing forward, no rotation. Or if you would like to add the rotation, we're moving back to our crossbody chest press. So we're going to go crossbody, slow motion with rotation to squeeze through that chest muscle and bring it back. So here we go for 6, 5, hips stay even on the chair, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, reset that. The same thing will apply for our wide row. You can stay shoulders facing forward, either in your upright row or in your hinge row, or we'll be rotating slightly towards that movement. And I'll actually look back towards the weight as I row as well. So if it's upright, it will look like this. And if it's hinged, it will look like this. Okay, so either way, hips are facing forward, our rotation is coming through our spine and not with a shift in our hip. And here we go, 6 in your chosen method to go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Let's set up to do those same exercises on the other side. Good. So shoulders are set. Nice tall posture to start. We're going to start without any rotation as we did before and do 10 crossbody chest presses. So shoulder is set and in position. Elbow is slightly bent. It's going to maintain that bend as you come crossbody for that squeeze through your chest and release. Here we go for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Perfect. Reset. And decide what is best for you for our row. So we just used our chest muscles. Now we're going to use mid-back rhomboids as we pull shoulder blade towards backbone, pulling that weight towards our hip. You can be upright. Weight starts hovering above your knee. Elbow pulls back wide of your hip. Or you can be hinged. Weight starts just in front of your shin. Pulling back. We'll stay shoulder square for this one. No rotation yet. Here we go. In your setup of choice for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, keeping it at hip level, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Come on up. Reset your posture here, hips nice and even on the chair. We are going to add the option of rotation as we did before on this same side for the same exercises. So our chest press is first. Stay with shoulders square if you know that's best for you, or we're going to slow this one down and add rotation as we contract through that chest muscle, bring our weight cross body. So nice slow move here so we can focus on a controlled rotation as we do this. Here we go. We'll go for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Reset. Same thing for our row, either upright row, stay square if you need to through the shoulders, or add rotation as you pull back. Hinged row, same thing, square up through the shoulders or add rotation and a little bit of a back gaze as you pull back. So in your position of choice, here we go, 6 times. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. Back up tall, we have a little bit more that we need this weight for. You won't need your pillow on the lap anymore. If you were using that, we should be good there. We're going to stay upright for the next few exercises. So let's do a little bit more core work. We've done a lot of core work today. Of course, our cardio also engaged our core to keep lots of stability. Now we're going to call upon it for a little bit more work as we do some paint shakers. So the weight is held with both hands at the moment. I like to use my weight with holding it sideways instead, or up and down instead of sideways. But you can hold it on the ends of the weight instead if that feels better for you. And if you have the option of coming away from your chair back, if you have enough core support for that, we're getting a little bit more difficult workload as we go here. So shoulders are set and in position. Those rhomboid muscles that we were just working on with our row, we're using them a little bit right now. So we're keeping our shoulder blades engaged and pulled together just slightly here. Core muscles ready to work as we do a few slow warm-up or test moves here of our paint shakers. So moving the weight away from your body straight to the front from about belly button level out. And then as you start to get comfortable with this move, we're going to start to speed it up and get it nice and close to our body. Shoulders stay away from your ears. Maintaining some nice even breaths in and out here. Let's do 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Take it down to your lap. Reset. Maybe you reset your hips on your seat, nice and even on your seat. We're gonna do one more set like that, and then we're gonna change it up just a little bit before we are done. So shoulders are set, away from your chair back if that's an option for you, or with back support if you need that. Slowly starting to add that paint shaker move, and then starting to bring it nice and close to your body, speeding it up, really activating through your core muscles for this. Belly button towards your backbone, not enough to change your breathing, but just enough to make sure those core muscles are working hard. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Reset. Reset your seat. Nice and even between your 2 hip bone points. We're going to slow this one down and do just a little bit more with a bit of an angle to our paint shakers now. So what we're going to do is come side to center with just a little bit of angle. And then maybe you start to speed it up a bit. Shoulders are still facing forward, so our core muscles are working to maintain this stability as my arms are changing their direction. Pulling back into belly button level each time. Good. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Excellent. We are done with our weight for today, and we are ready to stretch. Okay, so in a comfortable seat, let's stretch our rhomboids first. So we're gonna have our shoulder blades come away from each other in a moment here. Hands can either be interlaced, fingers interlaced, or one hand over top of the other, depending on which feels better for you. Opening your palms forward and letting your shoulder blades come away from each other. We're not changing our posture here, still nice and long. Chin retraction, meaning that my chin hasn't kind of come forward. My head isn't forward right now. And then taking some nice even breaths in and out. So breathe some extra space between your 2 shoulder blades. And then release. Again. One more here. Right, we're going to take our hands down to our lap and do a forward hinge. If that's not available to you and you would like to press back in your chair and think about nice long posture, that is perfect. Or forward hinge, nice long spine, coming down to a spot where maybe you can take a few nice even breaths in and out. Thinking about how every breath in can bring your head a little closer to a diagonal point above you, and your tailbone a little closer to your chair back. So kind of adding that extra length through your spine with every breath in. Good. Come back up tall. You can do that same exercise again, either pressing into your chair back for length through your spine or forward hinge, or if you would like to add our rhomboid stretch to the hinge, we won't have front support anymore for this one if you add, but shoulder blades come away from each other and then slowly reaching forward with a hinge. Taking a breath or 2 here. And then coming back up nice and slow. Good. One hand is either going to be on your lap or on the arm of your chair for support now as we take a reach up overhead. Let's go kind of in a rainbow pattern for a couple, and then we'll stay with arm overhead for a moment. So we'll do one more like this, big rainbow movement. Good. And then we're going to stay with that overhead reach and get a little bit more lat stretch as we go here, and maybe even through our obliques on that same side. So reaching up and over, this time with a bit of a side flex. We have this hand here for support and a really active press towards the ceiling. So feeling those muscles down the side body, releasing. Good, bring that back in. We'll do the same on the other side. So we'll do some range of motion with that rainbow movement, sweeping your arm up, sweeping it back down. Good, we'll do one more here. And then let's add that active reach for the ceiling with a bit of a side flex. So hand on your lap or on the arm of your chair for support. Good, bring that arm down, reset to center, hips even on your chair. Let's stretch out through our chest muscles next. So we'll go for arms up at chest level, out front. Big breath in as you reach wide to the side, breath out to return. Let's do one more like that. Good. Bring your arms down, reset, shoulders low. Let's do an exercise, and then I'm going to give you a couple of options here. So bring your arms up to set your hands gently at the base of your skull. So we're not going to put any pressure from our fingertips onto our skull in this position. Elbows are facing forward for now, and then we're opening up to get extra chest stretch here. If this does not feel comfortable for you and you'd like to come back to just our wide arm chest stretch, that is absolutely fine. Or pressing your head gently into your hands for a breath in, and then release, elbows come a little bit more forward with the breath out. So breath in, opening up through your chest, breath out to reset. One more here. Good, bringing those arms down. All right, we're going to tuck one hand, the back of your hand, into your imaginary back pocket. We'll continue with a little bit of a chest stretch and do a bit more of a neck release here as well. So elbow can actively pull back, shoulder stays low, and you're going to drop your ear away from that stretching side, so towards your opposite shoulder. Taking some nice big breaths in and out here. Maybe thinking about breathing a little extra space into those neck muscles that are often quite tight. And then maybe changing your gaze to look down towards your hip on that same side. Changing the stretch to a little farther back in your neck. Good, head comes back to neutral. Unwind that arm. We'll do the same on the other side. Hand tucks into your back pocket, or it can be on your hip instead if that's more comfortable for you. A gentle pull back of that elbow just to get a little bit of chest stretch, and then ear drops towards the opposite shoulder. Stretch through mid-neck. Taking some nice even breaths in and out. Focusing on sending a little bit of extra attention to those typically tight muscles. And then changing your gaze, look down towards your hip on this same side. Good, bring your gaze back to neutral and take your hands to your lap. We are almost finished for today. Let's just take a moment to check in. You are welcome to take your eyes to closed in a comfortable seat here just for a moment. So back as we did at the beginning, to focus on our breathing and maybe do a little bit of a body scan. You can remind yourself to have another drink of water when we're finished. kind of take note of how you feel now. If there's muscles you feel like worked hard today, that's okay. If there's something you feel maybe needs to be changed the next time you do a workout, feel free to reach out and ask questions, or, you know, make some changes on your own the next time that we work out together. Good. So with eyes closed, let's take one more really big breath in and a nice even breath out. And then you can open your eyes, and we will finish as we always do with 3 big breaths in, starting down low, reaching for the ceiling. 2 more. And last one here. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.
Okay. So she will be back tomorrow, next week. This week she's on vacation. It was just a video. So see you guys next week. Bye.